Hi, I'm Leon, and today we're taking a look at the Adventure Force Desperado, a double-action pistol that is scarily good. Let's talk about it. The Adventure Force, or Dart Zone makes this blaster, Desperado is a double-action, 6-shot cylinder pistol that is insanely compact, yet insanely powerful. Now, first of all, what does double action mean? Well, I'll sort of break it down like this. Normally, on your blasters, you have to prime, which is going to engage your spring, and then fire, which is going to go ahead and fire the dart. Most of the time when you're dealing with this, it's the trigger pull that goes ahead and just fires the thing. Not so much on double action. Double action is simply the action of pulling the trigger, which is going to engage the spring, and release it after the trigger hits a specific, basically, moment. Like this. Which means, yes, you can use this thing one-handed, and yes, that explains the giant oversized trigger, which is everything here. Apart from that, not really much to talk about. No sling mounts of any kind on this blaster. 2-point iron sight, which is actually cool. You can see right here it's got 1, 2, and then right here is kind of the 1. That's honestly pretty cool. The cylinder does rotate on trigger pull, so you can actually cycle through it just like this, which is pretty cool. And I think it's time to sort of mention one thing. The grip. I do not find this grip particularly comfortable. I'm going to be honest. I'm just, one, not really used to double action, but two, these ridges back here don't really make for an insanely comfortable design in my opinion. I think the Desperado is still kind of fun, but when using a double action blaster that has the chance to fatigue you, the grip matters. Now, it's not as good as the Nerf Commander. Yeah, I know, this one is kind of a weird comparison, but I'll get to it. The Commander's grip is kind of traditional, and it's not even the fact that I don't mind the trigger. It's just the fact that I find the back of the grip really comfortable, the length of pull is solid. Around the Desperado, it's kind of a little small. This is it fully primed, and it feels decent, but those back ridges are certainly not something I'm proud of. Given the cost of this blaster and the weight of it, I don't really care too much about it, but if you were using this as maybe your primary in a Nerf game, I'd probably tell you to reconsider and maybe grab something a little more traditional. That being said, as a sidearm, this thing is, well, I won't spoil my opinion, but it's up there in one of the maybe greatest of all time. This blaster includes 12, which is 1 full cylinder, and a reload of the Dart Zone Super Dart, or Waffletip, whatever you may call them. Weird note on these darts, I don't know what it is, but these are like insanely shiny, even after getting shot, compared to your normal ones, which are kind of dull. They're still nice colors, and the foam is still there, but these feel a little higher quality than what I'm used to. Not a knock against them or anything. I actually am very pleased about that. But these are definitely a little more glossy than I expected from Dart Zone. They still perform the exact same, so no worries there. But if you notice really shiny darts, let me know, because I was very surprised when I opened that up. But yeah, you prime and fire with the trigger. Priming, firing. It's pretty fun. It also makes it a little hard to aim, especially with one hand. So it makes it so the thing actually has some kind of effective recoil, which is a little strange, but that's fine. To load, you can just go ahead and put in your darts into the cylinder. You can do that on either side in this little gap. And you can go ahead and actually, with the trigger, trying not to actually fire, to go ahead and load in your darts. You can try to load through the front of the barrel, but there's a little tab there, which I'm not really sure what the point of that is, but Dart Zone's got it on a lot of their cylinder guns, so I think it's just a design for them. Either way, it's nothing bad. And then you can go ahead and fire. Just fire like that. You can see that the darts are coming back to me because, unlike most double action blasters, this one actually shoots decently hard. So, before I move to the firing demo, I do have a section where I shoot the same exact darts that came out of this blaster with the Commander to go ahead and compare power outputs. Looking at it, the Desperado does shoot just a tiny bit softer, but that's really nothing to complain about. In fact, that is something that I am very happy to report. Let's take a look. Shooting the included Dart Zone Waffletip darts. compare the Commander with the exact same darts. Yeah, this thing isn't too powerful, so it doesn't, like, fatigue you like crazy, but it's still got that typical 60 or so FPS that pistols have. Maybe 70. So it's not going to be like a powerhouse sniper kind of gun, but this thing is a good pistol in a pinch. And that's why I'm regarding the Desperado as one of the best maybe ever. Because we've always had one issue with pistols, which I'll talk about. Why do I bring the Commander up? Simple. The Commander is very, very similar to the Strong Arm. Top prime, fire enabled. Yeah, it's very, very similar with the same kind of power outputs. But the one thing that the Desperado beats basically any pistol Nerf has ever made is the fact that this thing is so small. Here's a size comparison. Yeah, the Commander's a little oversized, but the size comparison, honestly, is kind of the same with the Strong Arm. And not so much with the hammer shot, but still there. This thing is tiny. However, it's got 6 shots. The hammer shot only has 5. And this thing is one-handable. That's a huge, huge deal. Like a huge, huge deal. The Desperado being a one-handed, 6-shot pistol, regardless of all the double-action, weird aiming things you have to get used to. Like, seriously. The Desperado is going to be one of the greatest pistols ever. And I encourage you to pick one up, because this thing is just $9. Commander is $15, sometimes $13, sometimes $10. But if I had to pick between the two of them, no questions asked. A $9 one-handable, tiny, compact pistol that can basically go into your sweatpants pocket? That wins. That wins above everything. That's awesome. I loved the Dart Zone Blitzfire because it was a nice, powerful, very similar callback to the Strong Arm. But the Blitzfire was also tiny, so you could keep it in a pocket and just go like that. The Desperado literally takes everything good about the Blitzfire, but just makes it one-handable. And sure, the double action might be weird, but you'll get used to it. I definitely think this thing will be in my pocket for many Nerf wars to come. And I'm super happy to report that this is probably my highest recommended pistol right now on the market. I will quickly get into a small critique, which is sometimes this happens, where the handle doesn't go all the way up. It gets stuck, like midway through. This isn't really a hard fix to do on the fly. You can go ahead and see that, oh, it's only halfway up, so if I try to fire, it's not going to fire. This isn't necessarily a hard thing to fix. I can go ahead and get it to do it right there. But it fixed itself, and all you really have to do is, if it's like this, is just pull it back, and it typically does it, or face it downwards and it does it. But that's going to be my video review on the Adventure Force, or Dart Zone Desperado. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope you enjoyed just seeing this kind of blaster in action. It's a really, really nice pistol, and it's got my recommendation. As always, I'll leave a pinned comment in case anything sort of goes awry with this blaster, but I'm not expecting this one to have any issues. Of course, even though my buy recommendation is extremely high, you don't need to buy this thing if you don't want it. Remember to spend your money on what you need, not just anything a reviewer tells you to. But with that, if you like what I do around here, please feel free to like and subscribe. Helps the channel a bunch. And as always, take it easy.